You can't talk about Santa Barbara neighborhoods without mentioning the Riviera, one of the city's most sought-after communities. It features a Mediterranean vibe, exclusive architecture, beautiful ocean views, and truly one of the most spectacular places you could live on Earth. I'm Joe Parker. I've been helping people navigate the luxury real estate market here in Santa Barbara for 23 years successfully, and I make these videos to introduce my hometown to you. We're gonna take you on a tour today, a driving tour around the Riviera. Take a look at the history, some of the key landmarks, take a look at what the housing looks like, what the roads are looking like, where is it in the city exactly? All these questions will be answered in this video, and at the very end, I'll take you through an amazing home at the very top of the Riviera with spectacular mountain views. You're gonna wanna stick around. APS runs from Mission Canyon all the way over to Sycamore Canyon, and I'm getting on it right here where it drops down to Mission Canyon and meets up with the Santa Barbara Mission. This road bisects the lower and upper Riviera into two sections and traverses like a ribbon across this hillside from one end to the other, and is the main street to take you across the neighborhood and to get you to your access point, how you'd be getting to your home, whether or not you lived on the upper or lower Riviera. You almost certainly will be accessing APS at some point. The Riviera is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Santa Barbara, and it started about 1908. Behind me is the Riviera Business Park campus. This was originally the normal school. They were teaching home economics, and then eventually it got transitioned into Santa Barbara State College, and then eventually there was a petition and they got into the UC Santa Barbara system. So actually this park behind me was the original UCSB. Today it's housing the Riviera Theater and a few other businesses like Toad, the clothing company. They're up in there, and maybe some other smaller ones, but this is a cool little bit of history. There's not a lot of commercial on the Riviera, but this is it. And there's also the Belmont El Encanto Hotel, a luxurious 5-star hotel I'm gonna show you next. All right, I'm standing outside the Belmont El Encanto Hotel. This is one of Santa Barbara's top-rated hotels up here on the Riviera with ocean views. Most of our top-rated hotels are down in Montecito along the beach. There's some in Santa Barbara as well, but this one here is the best, I think, for Santa Barbara standards. It's got amazing guest rooms, a beautiful pool, a really nice dining facility. So they have outdoor patio dining and indoor, and the views from the dining are incredible. So when you're living on the Riviera, this becomes one of your assets in the neighborhood. One of the things that if you live close enough, maybe you walk and have some dinner or something, but if you want, you could drive over here and your guest will love staying there. You could get them out of your house. Now, I'm out over at the bottom of the El Encanto Hotel, and you see this Spanish style home behind me. I'm going to pan around so you could see a little bit more of this street here. And what's unique about this is that it used to be a part of the El Encanto Hotel, a part of this rich history of the early development of the Riviera when it was a school, and then they had some school housing, but the students didn't like living up here too far away from all the action and the beach, I guess. So they turned it into a hotel, and that's what we have today. This beautiful Belmont El Encanto Hotel, one of Santa Barbara's most exclusive, really incredible views, great experience, great dining, really nice place. One thing I love and everyone loves about the Riviera are these unique romantic sandstone walls that terrace this sloped neighborhood. So you've got lots of these terraces, and they were built in the early 20s and 30s, some even earlier than that. And these Italian stonemasons would come here from Italy to build these and make this neighborhood more developable, more buildable, create more flat spaces to build homes, and also create this really romantic, unique quality. So in addition to the homes and condos on the Riviera, there are some multifamily like this here on the lower Riviera. So you got a good mix. Not a lot of this type of product, but you do find some duplexes. This one looks like maybe 6 units or maybe a little less, but you could see here as a good example of what the multifamily could look like here on the Riviera. And then of course, off in the distance, some more views. I'm looking at the mesa there on the distance. Now, in addition to beautiful single family homes, lots of Spanish ones, we also have condos here on the Riviera, and I'm gonna take you into Casa Riviera, one of my favorite communities. If you're interested in something that maybe is a little bit easier to maintain, a lock it and leave it, or you just want to downsize and you don't need a single family home with a yard of your own and everything, this is a great way for easy living on the Riviera. These homes in here have attached garages. They're all multi-story, so you're not going to find a single level home in here, but they do feature some nice amenities. I do love that they have attached garages. They kind of stick with the Mediterranean style with their Spanish style roofs, and they have some nice brick pavers in the front, and it comes up here quite a ways here, and some of them have really spectacular views. Some of them are pinched off and maybe not as quite as good. Like you could see some of these lower ones right in front of me here on this roundabout I'm going through. They're not going to have the big views as those ones behind them, or some of those ones in the front that I entered and drove past as we came into this community. But this gives you an idea of what the Riviera holds. In addition to beautiful Spanish style single family homes, we do have these little pockets of townhomes and condos that you could choose from as well. The price ranges on these are going to start at maybe about, if you're lucky, I'd say 1.5 million, and could go up to potentially about 3 million, depending on its size, the view that it possesses, and the amount of work that's been done to it to modernize it. I always love the really mature landscaping here on the Riviera. A lot of these oak trees were planted over 50 years ago, so they're massive. Some 100-year plus oaks you'll find in the neighborhood. And right now I am going to take you from APS and Monroe there up to the upper Riviera. So APS divides the upper and lower Riviera, two sections. This section here, the upper Riviera, tends to be characterized by larger homes with a little more space between you and your neighbor. You also have a bit more of a view because you're higher up in elevation. So there's going to be more expansive views. You're going to get more of that ocean. As you get down lower into the lower Riviera, you get more of that city view, where it's kind of less expansive with that deep ocean, but you still know that the ocean's out there and everything. But this section here is really nice because it's the original section that was developed. It started with over where the business park is, that used to be a school, and then from there they started building out these areas, and you could see the original sandstone walls and lots of hedges that have matured and hiding some really spectacular homes behind the privacy that they provide. And now I just made my way, you'll see here, to Mission Ridge. And so Mission Ridge kind of parallels APS in a way and kind of goes in its own direction eventually, but it runs here above APS, cutting through the upper Riviera and giving you more access to other features like Franceschi Park, which is up here in the distance. Another treasured open space for the residents here and residents of all of Santa Barbara, but particularly these people that live here on the upper Riviera. They could access it on foot really easily. And talking about accessing on foot, as you could see as I'm driving along here, there's not a lot of sidewalks, but you do see neighbors getting after it and hiking, kind of more urban hiking, but you do have to be aware of the traffic and the cars, and sometimes you got to jump up on a curb or something. But all in all, it is still very walkable in a sense that you know, you don't have a ton of traffic up here. You do get cars from time to time, but one of the things that's special about the Riviera is the sense that it isn't very busy. You could get down to the city very quickly. You have easy access down into the city. You could get to the coast in, 5-7 minutes, but you're not going to have a ton of traffic up here. Once you're home, you can see there's people running, people walking. They find ways to get out and enjoy it. Even some people biking. I'm going to go by a few more people walking here that might show up on the camera. So you could see that it is still very active here in the neighborhood. And I'm just getting to Franceschi Park. So this is going to be another thing I want to share with you all. And you can see here, this is getting up higher and higher. We're getting up towards the top of the Riviera. The biggest views to be had here. Also some of the nicest, biggest homes to be offered up here. These are going to be larger. They're going to have obviously bigger views. They're going to be more money and typically on larger lots. So that is something to look out for. And look at this, Franceschi Park, so unassuming as we enter here. This was an old estate by Franceschi, donated to the city. And so that's why it has this entry that kind of looks like you're going through a gate of an estate. But it's actually a 15+ acre park that really takes in everything that the Riviera has to offer up here, offering up some of this sandstone wall work, some of the terracing that we have all over this neighborhood, and offering up the spectacular views, which is what everyone comes to the Riviera for, whether or not you're chasing these beautiful city, ocean, island views, or you prefer the backside of the Riviera for some mountain views. You're gonna find what you want in this neighborhood if you're a view property person. And right here, I'm pulling into Franceschi Park. Take a look at that, looking right out over the city and everything. We've got beautiful views of the islands, the channel. Over here to the distance, I'm seeing the mesa. I could see out where Hope Ranch is, and directly straight ahead is the Santa Barbara Harbor and Stearns Wharf. So picking up all the great landmarks of the city, all the red tile roofs. This is what's so amazing about this neighborhood, is this elevation you get, and it just takes a few minutes to drop right down into town. This park was donated to the city. Franceschi was a world-renowned horticulturist, brought a ton of these Mediterranean plants to this neighborhood that gives it that vibe. You know, things like the acacia, the eucalyptus, the hibiscus, bougainvillea out here I'm seeing off to the other side of me here. But this view is what people come here to live on the Riviera for, so they could just enjoy this at their home. Just a parade of sunsets every afternoon to enjoy from your patio. But this park is a great feature of the community because you could hike up here, you could spend some time here, enjoy the sunsets, gather with friends. It has public restrooms. It's a great feature of the neighborhood and a great feature of this community in Santa Barbara. Now, the Riviera is not all about ocean views. There's actually a backside to this hill that has all the homes on it that has incredible views of the San Ynez Mountains. So if that's something you're interested in, there's definitely an opportunity. You're going to save a little bit of money if you're going for the mountain view as opposed to the ocean view. So that's a plus, but it is a nice way to get into this neighborhood and see something spectacular right out your door. See how these streets just wind up here. And now we finally made it to the top, and we're starting to pick up some of the mountains here you can see in the distance. And we're going to traverse this backside because the property I want to show you today is actually at the top here, and it's located with these spectacular mountain views, and it's located just at the ridge. All right, now that you got a taste of what it's like to live here on the Riviera, what the upper and lower Riviera are like, I want to show you one of these homes here on the very top of the Riviera on the ridge, overlooking the great mountain views that this neighborhood affords a lot of the homes here. Of course, you get some ocean views, and in fact, right over me here, I could see the ocean all the way down towards Carpinteria and Point Mugu. But right behind me here is a really, truly remarkable little Mediterranean. This was built in 2010. You could see here the details that just signature Mediterranean, the tile roof, the olive trees we're going under. It has this really great kind of old world pebble style driveway. You know, these are like brick pavers, but made to look like each one was hand cut and individualized. So one of the things that's a premium on the Riviera is parking. You got guest parking here. You could also get some guests down at the end. And of course, a big 2-car garage. I love the carriage style garage doors that they chose for this one. They go really well with the smooth stucco and the olive trees. So this place here offers some incredible mountain views. You're gonna wanna see them. Let's go inside and check it out. All right, come on in, check this out. First thing I notice when I see this home and I come into it is the incredible wood door. It's like hand-hewn, old world with the speakeasy. Really, really cool feature. And immediately you have the powder room. So this spot right here is conveniently located for all your guests to use. And then we have a couple steps that come down into the sunken living room. And this room here is really tremendous. One thing I love about this home are the cathedral ceilings, really tall ceilings with these great open beams. So it gives you a lot of sense of volume and space. The recessed lighting's real slick, gives you that modern flair. A beautiful stone fireplace is centered in this room. So just imagine those evenings having the fire going, great place to gather and enjoy your company. And that's usually gonna take place after dining here at this dining room. So you've got a really nice, great room set up in this cathedral kind of hall of the home. So the dining here, the way the architect puts some of the built-in nooks where you could have your art displayed really adds a nice warm character to it. And follow me here as we go in and check out this kitchen. Now, just off this dining room area, they have these really great wrought iron gates here to add that old world feel to this home. We're sitting on top of some beautiful tile, and I love this center island with the wood, bringing in the accents of all this wood cabinetry. You can see here plenty of storage in this kitchen, and this fridge hidden behind the wood cladding really adds a nice upscale feel to this kitchen. Again, lots of cabinetry wrapping around here. This tile and a 6-burner stove will accommodate any of the chefs in your family. And of course, the sink. It wouldn't be fair to have a home on the Riviera without a sink with a view. The mountain views here, absolutely stunning. Just imagine at sunset, them turning pink and purple, truly magical. And of course, there is a little bit of room to dine in the kitchen. So if you want to have your coffee, read the paper, you got a little eat-in area right off a balcony that I want to show you next. Now, this is one of my favorite features of this home, this patio here, right off the living room. Remember, we have that dining room. There's also some French doors from the kitchen that could lead you out here as well. So if you want to barbecue out here, easy access in the flow to the kitchen. But this is a spacious deck here with incredible mountain views, these oak trees looking down into the canyon. You can just imagine watching the birds soar and seeing the sunsets turn the mountains, those glorious colors it goes through. Really one of the most peaceful spots to hang out in this property, right out here on this deck. Now I wanted to show you the interior access from the garage. So you come in just a couple steps right into the kitchen. So that's really convenient. And I love this stairwell because they didn't do anything to limit the design quality, the flair of this home, the wood floors, and this big opening and light fixture. So this opening lets you see into the big cathedral room and wraps us down to another living space with 2 more bedrooms and bathroom and laundry downstairs. So it's almost like a whole nother house downstairs. Okay, so now downstairs we have this kind of secondary living room. Maybe this would be considered the family room. Above on the ceiling, we still have some exposed beams. So giving you that same kind of feeling, the architectural vibe we got upstairs with all that exposed beamwork in the cathedral ceilings. And again, down here, we've got plenty of room for entertainment. They have it set up with a TV here, lots of storage cabinets, including right here. These built-ins are beautiful. It really reminds me of the cabinetry up in the kitchen, so that seamless kind of continuity of design throughout the whole house really lends to its feel of upscale richness. All right, we have 2 bedrooms down here. We're going past the laundry room into this bedroom here, which is a great size for a guest room. You have access to a bathroom, which also gives you some views out towards the mountains, plenty of oak trees to look at. In fact, it kind of looks like you're in a little bit of a tree house when you're in this room. This is a great space. Plenty of room for 2 beds if you need to expand the living space down here for extra guests, and a beautiful bathroom attached right here. All right, here's that main guest bathroom downstairs. So plenty of room at the counter, at the sink. There's also a beautiful tub and shower here with great tile. All these solid core doors really gives it a nice upscale feeling. I love the oil rub bronze fixtures they have on all the hardware. And then there's one more room down here being used as an office over here. This space has got plenty of room to make another bedroom, but this owner has decided to use it as a home office, which has a lot of great space, lots of built-ins, walk-in closets. So this is a total flex space. And down here has a patio as well I want to show you. Now here's that downstairs patio. Like above, this one also has incredible mountain views. This is going to be a great one to get away from the heat. Let's say we're having a hot day up here and you want to beat the heat. This is the place to probably hang out. And more of all of the wonderfulness you got from upstairs, but just a little bit more secluded, a little bit more private. And again, with the ceiling above, this would be a great place. Even if we were having rain and you wanted to be outside and enjoying it without getting wet, this would be the place I'd be hanging out. All right, now I want to show you the final room we haven't seen yet, the primary retreat, which is almost on the main level, just a couple steps down through this archway, down a couple steps. Let's go see it. All right, here's the primary retreat. It has its own balcony right out here and this beautiful fireplace. So what a romantic place to spend the night. We also have recessed lighting, high ceilings. We're looking at like 10 feet plus on the ceiling. So feels very voluminous, lots of room, lots of space. And it has a nice deep walk-in closet and this beautiful bathroom that is all dialed in with a soaking tub, dual sinks, stand-up shower, and water closet. So this is all part of this primary retreat where you get to spend your nights in peace and quiet up here at the top of the Riviera. The Riviera isn't just a neighborhood, it's a lifestyle for those who appreciate the finer things in life. Living here means more than just breathtaking views and stunning architecture. It's about embodying a lifestyle of sophistication and elegance and prestige. If you've been dreaming about belonging to a place where exclusivity, history, and luxury meet, then the Riviera is the place for you. Give me a call today on the number below if you would like to secure your dream home here on the Riviera or anywhere in Santa Barbara. Give me a call on the number below and I can help you secure the perfect home.